Hi everybody. I have a Targa LT2210 with a problem with just a light showing at the front, and it's gone now at the moment. But when you plug it in first, the light will show. Then when you press the standby button on the top of the unit, the light will turn to green, but it then just shuts down. Now we're at a stage where the light is staying down. This unit was sold by Lidl. So there's no service information or spares available for them. They don't supply spares, they replace them. So what I'm going to do now is take the back off this and have a look and see, can I see anything wrong. First thing I'm going to do is remove this stand. There's 3 screws. Then I have 3 screws going across here. Now I'm going to remove the screws from the outer edge of the bezel. Starting with the middle. Should come up. To get rid of the back so it's not in my way, I'm going to just disconnect this connector. And I'm just looking here, quick visual of it, and I can see a few bulging capacitors. 1, 2 bulging caps. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to replace those 2 caps and see what happens. I'm going to remove these connectors to the lamps. You just press the clip. It's a little hook here, right there. And if you press, that hook goes up. There's a hook right there. And you press the top of the clip, it actually lifts. Now, I'm going to take this connector out. Now we have 4 screws. 1, down here, 2, 3 and 4. Let's start by right here. This is a different one. There's 4 screws in it, and there's a silver one, 3 black ones. The silver one goes on this point here. There's a earth connection there. I'll start now removing these two capacitors. They're circuit reference C7 and C9. The first thing I do is I freshen the solder up with some solder. That's in here. I use some solder wick. Heat the solder up first. Turn it over. And it's a 1000 UF 16 volt low ESR type, 105 degrees. I'm going to remove C7, which is at that point there. This is a 1025 low ESR type, 105 degree. I'll get some capacitors out of my stock. Have my capacitors, low ESR type, 105 degree. I'm just going to put this 16 volt one in first. These are polarized capacitors. All electrolytic capacitors are polarized. This is the negative leg here with this symbol here, with this, sorry, you get into view. This is the negative leg here with the strip and the negative symbol on it. This is the positive. And if you look on the board, you have a little white marking on the board. And maybe I'll get a little bit closer. There's a white marking there. That the negative leg of the capacitor goes with that, and the same with this one here as well. C9 is the 1000 16 volt. If you put them in correctly, the ground polarity, they will go pop on you with a bang. Plenty of smoke. That's the 4 legs soldered. Now I have to snip the leads. Next thing I do now is just clean up around the area, clear off the excess flux. And what I use is isopropanol alcohol, IPA, also known as. Not clean. Let's do an inspection. Looking okay. Now all that remains to do is put the power supply back in the unit and give it a test. I'm going to put my 4 mounting screws into the PCB, hold it in place. Start with the 3 black ones. And the silver one then with this, where this earth connection is. My screwdriver is on its lowest torque, so it doesn't rip the screws out of it. Now I'm going to connect my cables. Be careful you don't bend the cables. Bend the pins of the connectors, I should say. I have to stick the back on now just to get my button unit connected up, so we have some kind of control. Take it out of standby. Put the back on, stand on. I got a signal connected up to it. What I'm going to do now is power it up just to check what we have. Okay, we have sound as well, and we have picture. That was a fairly straightforward enough repair, quite standard. When you do have problem with capacitors, people think when you replace the bulging capacitors, that's the end of the repair. But in reality, when capacitors are bulging, they can do other damage as well, but sometimes it can do damage to firmware and EEPROM. That could require replacing a main signal board if that happened. So when you have bulging capacitors, sometimes that's not the end of the repair. You might have to go further when you get it on. You might find other problems, but we're lucky this time. I hope that's of some help to someone out there. Thanks for watching.